So it's September, end of September, and the temperatures dropped the other night into high 30s, and some places 40s. When that does that, it changes the flavor of tomatoes. It signals the end of the season, and most of the plants are half dead anyway. And when the tomatoes come out of the garden, they kind of look all ugly and beat down and funny looking. Little, they're not big. So today I had decided to make some spaghetti sauce. So basically I go pick the tomatoes, wash them all off, take off their little stems, just cut them in half and throw them in a pot. And then I'm going to take some sausage and add it to the spaghetti with some peppers and onions and some Italian seasoning, and then cook the whole thing down for a couple hours, and that's going to be my sauce. So I'll come back later after I put it all together and get it cooking. But yeah, I even leave the peels on because they just come off on their own later and I can take them out. And I really don't care if they're in there or not, because it's funny, I see people that take all the seeds out of their tomatoes, they take the skin off the tomatoes, and actually all the stuff about tomatoes that makes you healthy is in the seeds and the skin. But yeah, you gotta really like tomatoes to do it this way. And so yeah, let me finish cutting these guys in half and get this cooking. And what's in here are just regular, like if you want to call them regular round tomatoes, and then there's the Romas, or what some people call plum tomatoes, or I don't know what you call them. I call them plum tomatoes. But anyway, typically people associate the plum tomatoes with making sauce because they're so fleshy and have very little water, seed content. However, this year I grew those heirloom tomatoes, and this is actually one of them, and as you can see, there's barely any water in it at all. It's almost solid tomato. And then, of course, the other heirlooms, which were the Brandywines, these were the Rutgers. The little ones were called Rutger heirlooms. And then I had the Brandywines, which were the really big ones. And my father said the best tomatoes he had for a tomato sandwich ever, because I sent him home with some. And so these will cook up nice because there's not a lot of water content in them. So anyway, and then over here, a huge pile of peppers and onions that goes in there. And then as far as I already showed you the sausage that's going to go in there, that's like a coarse ground Italian sausage, mild. Yeah, I can't do the hot all the time, because plus when I eat my spaghetti sauce, I put hot sauce on it. Then there's the spice here. I use it all the time. Some of you might have seen it, some of you might not. It's called Sazan by Goya, and it has oh, of course I can't remember the name of it now. But anyway, it's got a bunch of different seasonings, and when you put it into something, it turns it yellowy orange. And it has a lovely flavor that I love. I add tons of this when I make chili. Not so much when I make the spaghetti sauce. It just needs a hint of this, which is those 3 little packages. They come in these little foil packages. And as you get used to how you like the flavor of it, you determine how many you use. And then I've got just some, you know, Italian seasoning. Some garlic powder. Sorry, I don't have real garlic. It goes bad real quick around here, so I just end up buying garlic powder. And of course, salt and pepper. And so I'll come back when this is cooked down a little bit and see what it looks like. Okay, they're all cooking down really good. Sausage is in there all cooking away. Spices are in there, and it smells really good. And funny story about spaghetti. When my son was little, and if you make homemade spaghetti sauce, it's kind of thin. And if you want it to be thicker, denser, or whatever you want to call it, you have to add tomato paste to it. Anyway, I don't use tomato paste. And my son would say, "Mom, is that the spaghetti sauce that falls off the spaghetti?" And he said, "I want my spaghetti red." So what I'm trying to get at, when you, let's see if I can get some of it up here. See how it's got that watery-ish look to it? You can see the spatula through it. If you buy spaghetti in a can, it's much thicker and denser, and when you put it on spaghetti, it sticks. This stuff won't. I mean, it tastes great, but I just thought of it when I was cooking it, how I haven't made spaghetti sauce in, oh my god, I couldn't tell you, years and years and years, because I live alone now, so cooking anything to me just seems kind of, I save it for the weekends when I have time, because during the week I'm too busy coming home from work and getting stuff done. But it'll cook down until everything's all nice and good consistency. But when you put it on spaghetti, it does look kind of watery. But like I said, it tastes fantastic. And like I said, my son would say, Mom, that's, I don't like that spaghetti sauce. It doesn't turn my spaghetti red. And of course, now he's 32 years old. I bet he doesn't remember he ever said that. He doesn't remember anything. He's got Alzheimer's like his mother. All right, so that's my homemade spaghetti sauce. Ooh, it smells so good. All right, there it is. The finished spaghetti. So now, as you can see on the edge of the plate there, that it's kind of watery looking. And that's what my son meant by his spaghetti doesn't turn red. I also use angel hair pasta, not regular spaghetti. So that's the way I like it. The taste is out of this world. All it needs now is a little bit of hot sauce and some shaky cheese. So that's it. Homemade spaghetti from Tomatoes in the Garden.